Wheels is in South Korea checking out this, the new Hyundai Ioniq 6. It's a four-door sedan based on the electric eGMP architecture, the same one that the Ioniq 5 is based on. This car is coming to Australia early 2023 and will be priced around $80,000. In this video, I'll just show you around it basically. Show you the exterior, some details that are really cool, the interior, under the bonnet, the boot, the back seat, and just give you a general gist of it, tell you about it. So it's going to come in two variants, a dual motor all-wheel drive and a single motor rear drive variant. The all-wheel drive dual motor will have 239 kilowatts and 605 newton meters and does 0 to 100 in 5.1 seconds. So just looking at the exterior, obviously it's designed to be as slippery as possible. Hyundai doesn't call this a sedan, they actually call it an electric streamliner, and it's been sculpted with computational fluid dynamics software to create a drag coefficient of just 0.21. That actually helps extend the range to more than 610 kilometers. It's a sizable advantage over the more brick-shaped Ioniq 5. And you can see it all over the car's bodywork, obviously with the very sloping roofline here tapering down to the rear. We've got this rear spoiler which actually makes an aerodynamic difference, helping to reduce drag. Kind of makes it look like it's air-cooled and 911-ish, if you ask me. It's got that little lip spoiler there as well, which is really cool. There isn't much of a rear diffuser on this car. It's just kind of a bumper, but it does have a flat floor underneath. One advantage of being built on an all-electric architecture is the floor from the front to back is entirely flat, just about entirely flat. I'll show you the front now. One cool little aerodynamic detail is just here. So this little plastic bit of trim is called the wheel gap reducer, and it was just a bit of a random idea that one of the designers had. And with aerodynamics, this very short front overhang and long wheelbase is actually a bit of a problem for the aerodynamicists, especially the short front overhang. And this plastic bit of trim effectively lengthens the front overhang, helping the air cling to the side of the car and reducing turbulence and therefore drag. There's also these active aero flaps which open and close depending on cooling requirements. So if you have a hard drive in this car up a twisty road, they will be open at the end. We can see on the headlights these LEDs, they're called parametric pixels, and they're kind of all over the car, this pixel kind of styling. Coming around now to the camera mirrors, which are very interesting. They're quite large actually. You think an advantage of having a camera instead of a mirror would be size. They are fairly chunky units. We'll have a look at the screens inside in a moment. Just looking at the wheels as well. Supposedly the 18-inch wheels are the more aerodynamic choice, but it's these big 20-inch wheels that look the best. And they are the designer's favorite as well. One other cool little detail is this flush Hyundai exterior badge, which apparently will be fitted to future Hyundai models as well. I'll just show you the key quickly. It's in a cool Hyundai shape. It's got an ugly sticker on it in this this particular key. But if we hit unlock, we can see the exterior flush door handles opening and closing, which is very cool. I'll actually show you the back first really quickly. So the back seat is huge. There's heaps of space. And one cool thing about being based on an all-electric architecture is the flat rear floor. This is a bit of an underrated thing if you ask me. Headroom is a little bit tight, but there's plenty of knee and foot room. Hyundai also says this is a little phone nook. One cool thing I like about the back here is the vehicle to load outlet. So you can plug in all sorts of appliances, a kettle, the PlayStation, a hairdryer, whatever you like. Jumping into the driver's seat now. Very cool place to be. very light and airy, high tech. And we just start the car up. I'll show you a bunch of cool things. So we've got the 4 pixels here, which are a bit of a Ioniq trademark. And we've got the big digital display. We've got the big infotainment display. We've got those side mirrors there that you can see. They take a little bit of getting used to, but once you trust them, I think I prefer them to actual mirrors. It's just the chunkiness of those cameras on the outside, a bit of a missed opportunity. They still block a little bit of your view. Down here in the center console, we've got a big, chunky bit of space there. The center console itself is pretty large. I love this drawer for the glove box. There's lots of cool settings in here to play with, but I'll show you my favorite, which is the drive modes. So say you're on the matte screen, it's actually interesting to see how many steps it takes to get through the drive mode. So you got to go to home, setup, vehicle, drive mode, custom, cog, and then you can go drive line. So we're in 2-wheel drive mode now, but you can go to auto all drive, which is basically 2-wheel drive mode, and then it engages the front motor as needed, or you can just go to permanent all drive. You can also adjust steering, there's 2 modes, acceleration sensitivity, power output, and you can adjust the brake mode, which is really cool. I'll show you now under the bonnet and the boot quickly. So under the bonnet, there's not much storage space. It's certainly not a front boot. It's just kind of big enough for the charging cable, and that's about it. But you could fit a soft bag in there if you were ambitious. And then coming around to the boot, it's actually got a boot and it's not a lift back. Electric's operating tailgate here. So it's got a fairly sizable boot, no spare tyre. And you can just press the button again and the boot shuts. And that's really it. We'll put some specs in the comments, in the description below. And make sure that you check out our review coming out on October 5 on the Wheels and Which Car website. We'll also put a link to that in the description below once it's available, and some further details around the power output of the rear motor and the all-wheel drive motor together. Yeah, it's just a really, really cool car. Really interesting. Great to see some innovation and daring design coming out of South Korea. Well done, Hyundai, if you ask us. Thanks for watching.